here's your forecast first. Brought to you by Northwest Tire. Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Good Sunday evening, everyone. Expect a breezy start to your Monday morning. Much of North Dakota under a wind advisory. Some places in Montana and South Dakota under a high wind watch and high wind warning. Clouds moving in to North Dakota right now. Expect that cloud cover to hang out overnight, but temperatures not too bad right now. A lot of us in the mid to upper 30s, even some 40s. And tomorrow, expect those temperatures to go up quite a bit, even 50s in some areas. I'll tell you how much warmer we can get, followed by a bit of a cool down in just a bit. KX News at 10 starts now.
Coming up next on KX News at 10, a Wishick family boarded a flight from Denver to Honolulu yesterday. Soon after takeoff, an explosion. We sit down with a mother of three ahead. And new COVID cases and deaths take a downfall across the country. Plus a look at our top stories this week, in case you missed it.
Putting North Dakota first. KX News at 10 starts now.
Good evening. I'm Renee Cooper. Thanks for watching KX News. Leading local tonight, a North Dakota family was on a plane from Denver to Hawaii when the engine failed after takeoff. KX News spoke with a Wishick woman whose family landed safely in Hawaii overnight after an emergency landing in Denver, Colorado, Saturday. The United Airlines flight headed from Denver to Honolulu suffered a catastrophic failure in its right engine, and flames erupted under the wing as the plane began to lose altitude. Brenda Doan, her husband, and 3 kids from Wishick were aboard on a last-minute family vacation. Doan says what started off as a smooth takeoff quickly turned into a turbulent one in the clouds. She and her family could see debris, sparks, and what she described as, quote, balls of fire fly outside their windows.
It almost felt like it was an explosion. It was a boom, and it was a big boom, not something small. You knew that something had happened. It was an absolute. And so immediately I did scream. I will admit I did scream. There was a couple other people that yelped and kind of screamed, and you know, it's that initial terror, that initial fright where you're hearing people say, what's happening? Why me? This is not the way I wanted this to end, you know, all those things. And so my daughter, I realized she was scared, and she said, Mom, don't scream. And she grabbed on me, and I just said, it's going to be okay.
Doan says the flight crew kept everyone calm with continuous communication through the about 4 minutes that it took for the plane to land back at Denver International Airport. Authorities say no one on board or on the ground was hurt. Today, U.S. regulators announced extra inspections of Boeing 777 jets with this same type of engine. The Doan family now enjoying their vacation in Hawaii. The number of new COVID-19 cases and deaths is decreasing sharply. But as the U.S. approaches a sad milestone, top health experts say the pandemic is far from over. Our KX News Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon explains how the government is trying to get ahead of new outbreaks.
The U.S. is approaching the grim milestone of 500,000 deaths due to COVID-19.
It really is a terrible situation that we've been through and that we're still going through. And that's the reason why we keep insisting to continue with the public health measures.
This week, the country hit a hurdle in the vaccination efforts as severe weather delayed the deliveries of 6 million vaccine doses.
So we've been able to get about 2 million of those 6 million doses out. We expect to rapidly catch up this week.
And there are fears of new spikes due to the variants of the virus. So some countries are focusing on giving only single doses to as many people as possible.
And this is the risky business about it. We don't know how durable that effect is going to be.
Dr. Anthony Fauci said the U.S. will stick with administering both doses. The Biden administration says more money is needed. On Friday, House Democrats unveiled the details of their $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, which includes billions of additional dollars for vaccines, testing, and tracing, as well as money to help state and local governments, stimulus checks, unemployment assistance, and $130 billion for schools.
They want to pass over $100 billion of new money that's not even tied to schools reopening.
Republicans like Congressman Steve Scalise oppose the massive package, but Democrats may be able to pass the package without any Republican support, but only if every Democrat in the Senate is on board. Reporting in Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Now in North Dakota, health officials confirmed 45 new positive cases of COVID-19 and 1 new death due to the coronavirus this morning, reflecting what have typically been low weekend numbers. With the update, the total number of positive tests since the start of the pandemic in North Dakota is about 700 shy of 100,000. The state lab processed 2,116 tests in the last day for a positivity rate of 2.6%. More than 402,000 residents have been tested in total. Active cases are at 725, meaning there were 64 more recoveries than new positive cases reported today. And the death toll now stands at 1,438. Hospitalizations rose by 1 to 40, with 8 patients currently being treated in intensive care. The state's hospital tracker shows there are 29 staffed ICU beds and 322 staffed inpatient beds available across North Dakota. The state did not receive some expected vaccine shipments on Tuesday or Thursday due to severe weather elsewhere. Health officials said they are expecting deliveries to resume Monday. For the latest information on the coronavirus, including resources, all of the latest case numbers and prevention, head to kxnet.com. And now, here are some of the top stories of the week from KX News, in case you missed it.
Some North Dakotans want to make it easier to shoot an attacker in self-defense. House Bill 1498 makes that possible by stripping away 2 main parts of the law. Some of those opposed say the bill allows for shooting almost anywhere.
By changing the council doctrine here, it creates an exception that swallows the rule.
House Bill 1198 would prevent the governor from having any control over the number of polling places.
You can't just snap a finger and turn an election on and off. You have to have those situations covered in advance.
Short notice power outages being done to keep the energy grid from collapsing.
Freeze-ups at Texas wind generation facilities accounted for less than 20% of the shortfall, the rest coming from weather-related malfunctions at natural gas and coal generation facilities.
Southwest Power Pool equated it to like a 100-year flood. You know, this is one of those perfect storm type of things.
Many of us get our vehicles running before we plan to leave the house. Experts at AAA say it's not a good idea to leave your cars running.
Today's more modern vehicles require less time to warm up. They actually warm up more quickly and efficiently when being driven.
Earlier this month, a hacker altered the levels of chemicals in the water supply of a Florida city to potentially damaging levels.
Our drinking water system, it would not be possible to do the same type of activities. It really is important for us to reduce any kind of risk, whether it's a natural disaster or cybersecurity.
Coming up next on KX News at 10, why in the midst of a pandemic, medical programs are seeing an uptick in applications. Plus, your full forecast is still to come. Stay with us.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us. Watching KX News at 10 with Renee Cooper. Weather with meteorologist Mike D'Andrea. And sports with Luke Gamble. Local news is unique to the communities it serves. Local news celebrates the human spirit through the struggles and the triumphs. Local news brings to light the questions and answers you seek. Local news is delivered by journalists who make North Dakota their home. Local news is the trusted voice amid the national noise, leading local for the communities we serve. KX News, putting North Dakota first.
What does it mean to be heard? Not just listened to, but really heard. By family, friends, and especially your doctor. You want a doctor who listens carefully to you, who spends time to answer your questions. A doctor you trust, who involves you in important decisions about your health. Be listened to, be heard. Mid-Dakota Clinic, the doctors you know and trust.
Winter is full of surprises, but you'll be ready with a Ford Escape. Because with the $5,000 total cash, now is the perfect time to get behind the wheel. Chilly mornings, you've got remote start. Freezing temperatures, forget about them with heated seats. But hurry, your chance to save big and see for yourself how the Ford Escape is built for weather ends soon. For a limited time, get up to $5,000 total cash on an Escape, only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Two great names in banking are coming together.
Blackridge Bank is now First Western. Same great people, same great service.
Friends and neighbors, people you can count on.
And as always, local decision making. First Western Bank and Trust. We're not just here for you, we are you.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Lease a RAV4, a 2021 KBB.com Best Buy Award winner for $229 per month. Includes $500 TFS lease subvention cash. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
When you think of her, think of Walkers & Daughters Jewelers, His Street downtown, and Kirkwood Mall, Bismarck.
You're watching KX News, putting North Dakota first.
Welcome back. 11 months into the pandemic, and medical programs are seeing an uptick in those applying. While that may not seem too unusual, the name for what's happening could be considered just that. Our Andiani reports.
You might think the pandemic would scare people away from the medical field, but that's not what we're seeing. Students all across the nation and right here in North Dakota are inspired to help. Naming the phenomenon after Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. It's been dubbed the Fauci effect.
Students or applicants that go into medicine because something happened in their life, some event with grandma or whatever, and certainly with the pandemic, things have happened to our society that have influenced young people to go into medicine.
The University of North Dakota, known for its medical program, tells us they've seen a 25% increase in applicants.
Just like the rest of the nation, we saw a pretty big jump in applicants. From last year to this year, we had a total of almost 1,450 last year, and this year it's over 2,000.
Officials are welcoming this re-emerging interest for science and medicine.
Medical school is always competitive. It does add more work for our office, I would say, to go through, but it's also great to see so many applicants that are wanting to pursue medicine.
Many high school seniors are getting a jump start on their medical training by attending Career Academy on BSC campus. Eden Schlinger says she's happy to see her peers so motivated.
I think that being able to go in with a purpose of wanting to help out, even with this pandemic, is really important because we need people to research and do it and look for the future.
Brooke Burgard, a senior at Bismarck High School, comes from a family of nurses and says she isn't going to let COVID keep her from helping those in need.
I just think it's really cool because I feel like a lot of people maybe turned away from the medical field. Seeing now with the pandemic that it's more than just that, it can really help other people, and it's more just about being able to help enrich people's lives and help them get better and back to their reality and normalness.
Jim Porter, Associate Dean of Student Affairs and Admissions at UND, says the future is looking bright.
Of the increased enrollment, Fauci effect, or whatever it is, I've seen a very highly qualified pool of applicants that has come through this last cycle.
Reporting for KX News in Bismarck, I'm Andiani.
Well, despite the growth, UND will still only be able to accept 78 of the 2,000 applicants. Because they are a state-funded school, they will not be changing their class size at this time. Stay with us. Still to come on KX News, a favorite sweet treat is on the National Day calendar for your Sunday night. And we're taking a live look outside tonight after a mostly beautiful sunny weekend. That full forecast is coming up next.
Selling Tracker and Nitro boats. Tracker Off-Road. Save now at Swenson RV and Marine. Huge indoor sales. Sears Court, Dakota Square Mall.
Do I get makeup too? Relax. Hi, I'm Brandon Langang. I like to have fun. I just want to say exciting. Okay? Is howdy okay? Howdy. I'm Brandon Langang, owner of Heritage Exteriors. I grew up in this industry, and to this day, it's still my passion. I love working with homeowners and seeing the excitement they get when we finish their home remodel project.
Heritage Exteriors by Brandon Langgang. On the Strip, across from Riverwood RV, Mandan.
At United Printing, you've trusted us with your printing needs since 1965. And we don't take that lightly, because we know that it's more than words on a page. It's an announcement of big news and growth. It's helping educate future generations. It's the next must-read issue. For projects big or small, what drives us is helping our clients make their mark and bringing their projects to life. Let's create something together. United Printing, your partner in print.
Time is running out to get an amazing deal on our most winter-ready Honda models. With available all-wheel drive technology tested in the most extreme conditions. Act fast before the Honda 0% event is over. You don't want to miss out. Well-qualified buyers can get a great deal, like 0% APR financing on the purchase of select Honda models. Hurry in or shop online.
The coal industry, that's what got me here.
My job at the coal mine was a blessing.
Almost everyone who lives in town is either in the coal industry or they're related to someone in the coal industry. Really, this community's heart and soul is in the coal industry.
I'm Lee.
I'm Kate.
I'm a heavy equipment operator.
I work at B&I Coal in Center, North Dakota.
And I am Lignite.
Looking for your next job? KXNet Jobs is the region's newest and most comprehensive source for local employment opportunities. Easily search and sort through thousands of job openings from local employers. We want to help you in your job search. Come to KXNetJobs.com and start your search today. Now, your local weather with the KX News Storm Team.
Welcome back, everyone. It was an absolutely beautiful day today. I was actually out in short sleeves earlier today, and well, tomorrow is going to be nice too, but it is going to be pretty windy, and those winds are going to shift a lot different directions, so that's going to bring our temperatures up and down quite a bit this week. And I am tracking a slight chance of some precipitation coming up this week. On this day, February 21st, I know I'm kind of blocking it a little bit, but just wanted to show you, back in 1918, we had an 83-degree warm-up in just 12 hours. So if you thought that this warm-up was a lot, check that out. Again, negative 33 to 50 degrees. This was in Granville. Gosh, 83 degrees in one day. That is unbelievable. Highs today, though, also unbelievable for February. A lot of us getting close to 50. Mobridge, South Dakota, got up to 51 degrees. So very, very warm day for the month of February. Bismarck Almanac showing 48 degrees for a high and 8 degrees for a low. So believe it or not, we're actually below average for our low temperature and a 40-degree difference between our high and our low today. So that's also pretty incredible. Look at Williston right now, 36 degrees, west-southwest wind at 13 miles per hour, making it feel like it's about 28 degrees. Look at Garrison now, 34 degrees, also west-southwest wind at 13 miles an hour, making it feel like it is about 25 degrees right now. Wind speed's definitely kicking up. A lot of places over 15 miles an hour across western North Dakota. Moving off to the east, still a little bit calmer, but a lot of places still over 10 miles an hour, even off towards the east. Satellite and radar showing a lot of these clouds moving in and a few stray snow showers, most of those hanging up north of the international border, though. Nothing more really to be expected tonight, but check this out. So this is our system that's off to the east that caused almost 8 inches of snow in parts of southern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, and a lot of southern Wisconsin. And Precision Cast is going to show this kind of moving off to the east, but then moving back towards North Dakota brings a lot of widespread cloud cover and those winds shifting from the west. And then check this out. So there's a low pressure center that's going to kind of, come up on the Rocky Mountains and then slide in, bringing ahead of it some rain chances. And then as that cold front moves through too, wintry mix is to be expected, and then even some snow showers behind that. And those snow showers become a lot more widespread Tuesday night. Zoom in a little bit closer to home, showing by Wednesday morning, those clouds kind of move off towards the east, but a few stray snow showers still stick around towards northern North Dakota. Future snow totals, though, mostly just an inch or less. And these winds kicking up a lot, over 30 miles an hour by tomorrow afternoon. So it wouldn't surprise me if those winds gust to about 50 miles an hour or even a touch beyond that. High temperatures tomorrow, though, looking very nice. A lot of places down towards south of I-94, 50 degrees or higher. 72-hour Planet Fort Dickinson showing again 52 degrees, but a wintry mix and a bit breezy conditions on Tuesday ahead of a drop in temperature. Williston showing a similar trend, 50 degrees, the forecast high on Monday, and then a drop below freezing by Wednesday, showing Minot a bit of a bumpy ride in temperatures, going up to 42, down to 19, even a chance to get below 0. And then Bismarck, high temperatures only in the 20s by next weekend. So it is going to be chilly after a very warm start to the week. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to the weekend.
Don't say that, Mike. Thanks so much. Coming up next in sports, from game-winning shots to championship history, some of the top plays of the week and the year.
Check out Malibu, the world's #1 selling towboat, at River City Sports.
Winter's best deals are at your local Northland Ford dealer, where you can get up to $5,000 total cash on a new Ford Escape. Warm up behind the wheel of an Explorer with up to $5,000 total cash. Or start up a stylish Edge with up to $6,000 total cash. Save big today on a new Ford SUV featuring available heated front seats and the tech to start your engine right from your phone. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Summer's around the corner. Don't be stuck at the dock this year. Win a decked-out pontoon and live lake life to the fullest. Four Bears is giving away a 22-foot Godfrey Sweetwater Tritoon with Mercury 115 motor, trailer, and cover. Use your Players Club card at the slots now through April 30th with the giveaway on May 1st. Plus, don't miss Double Point Sundays, Super Senior Wednesdays, Slot Tourney Thursdays, and Hot Seats on Wednesdays and Fridays. All at Four Bears Casino and Lodge, 4 miles west of Newtown.
Berg's 24-hour towing and crane service has been serving this community with first-rate towing and roadside assistance that you've come to expect. What you maybe didn't know is Berg's has joined the fight against breast cancer. When you see our pink trucks working around town, a portion of every tow is donated to help find a cure. We also enjoy partnering with our community members by participating in and sponsoring local events. Help us support this worthy cause. Call Berg's 24-hour towing and crane service. Big or small, we'll save them all.
Life is stressful. Family, work, money, health. Don't let stress keep you down, hold you back, or beat you. Find your own way for your body, mind, and soul. You can get up. You can get ahead. You can win in your own way on your own time. Shields.
Many residents come and they're scared. They know they're going to go through a difficult process of just getting used to not having the substances and some experience withdrawal. But many of the residents, in a very short time, you see that their confidence is building, that they can be themselves, that they can be vulnerable, and that you can just see that hope and vision returning in their eyes, that they come to a place of where I can do this, I can succeed, to kind of see the shine come back in their eyes.
KX Sports with Luke Gamble.
Welcome back. It is officially football season again, this time in the spring. Something we would never expect, but the Bison are playing football in February. And to make things a little weirder, why not start the season on a Sunday? Bison kicking off the first of 8 games, a much-anticipated debut for Zeb Noland at quarterback. Can he keep the rich Bison QB tradition going? They don't need him early because they have Kobe Johnson bouncing it outside and into the end zone for the 8-0 lead. 115 yards for him on the day. The ground and pound game working for the Bison. Second half, it's Bussy Johnson busting it 22 yards down the field. 18-0. Johnson once more drives it right down I-94 for the score. 2 career games in the green and gold, and he already has 4 touchdowns. The Penguins show up a week late for the cold weather in North Dakota and leave with an 18-point loss to the Bison. To hockey now, UMary back at home for the first time in 2.5 weeks. Now ranked #1 in the ACHA, so trying to build on that momentum. Marauders haven't lost a game in 3 months. taking on cross-state rival UND today. First period, Andrew Huber flies in from the top side, skates by 2 defenders, and sends a rocket into the right side. That makes it 1-0 just 2 minutes into the game. And just 2 minutes later, Seth Cushing scores off the drop. So quick you may have missed it, so we slowed it down a little bit. Marauders putting on a scoring clinic. Deflected shot here goes around the boards. Alexander Horter finds Braden Zay's quick shot and goal. Marauders roll to the 10-1 win. To the hardwood now. Bismarck State's basketball season hits the halfway point today. Game 10 of the season, hosting a familiar team in Williston State. An exciting one at the Armory on the women's side. Out of the timeout, the Tetons lead by 5. Jasmine Kalehi-Fulu gets the ball low, surveys the floor, takes the jumper to extend the lead to 7 for the Tetons. Less than a minute to play. Katie Hove knocks down the 3 to cut the Tetons lead to 4. A chance to put the game away. But Williston State misses the free throw. Hove with the half-court pass to Riley Payne. Basket and the foul to cut the lead again. But the Tetons hang on to win by 6. To the men's side, BSC looking for back-to-back wins. Tetons trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss. First quarter, Macaulay Young with a massive block underneath. Mystics take over. Young's shot is off, but Kobe Beggar there for the putback in the air. Tetons struggling offensively early. They get it to the corner this time for Caleb Johnson. A little spark as he knocks down the 3 ball. Mystics are ready to play, though. Look at the ball movement here. Jamison Kramer dreams one of his 7 threes on the day. He finishes with 25 points as the Mystics run away with their first triple-digit game of the season. And finally, to our top plays of the week. This has been one of the toughest weeks to pick in a while. Multiple buzzer beaters and game winners. So let's start with number 5. Minot State women taking on UMary. Amber Stavon gets the rebound, time winding down, launches the half-court shot. Bake is open, and it's good. The Shiloh Christian grads sinking the half-quarter with ease. To number 4, Velva boys taking on our Redeemers. Aggies down 2 with 2 to go. Full court pass to Gage Florence, throws it up, high bounce, and drops it in for the game winner. Let's slow it down. Check out the dramatic bounce off the rim. Hangs in the air before it falls. Huge shot propels the Aggies to a win. Number 3, Beulah boys hosting Bishop Ryan. Down 4, Miners get the rebound. Trey Brandt, the man of the hour, hits the 3 over 2 defenders and gets the 4-point play to send it to overtime. That's something you don't see often. Brandt finishes the night with 46 points, and the Miners get the win in OT. Number 2, Linton H&B hosting Oaks. Down 2 with 3 seconds left. Lucas Schumacher pushes it to half court, lofts up a shot, sinks it for the win. He even did it with a defender in his face. Schumacher finishes the night with 38 points. 9 of those were 3-pointers, and the final one, the game winner. And my top play this week goes to the top performer. Reese Barnhart of St. Mary's gets the pin in Fargo to secure his 4th straight state title. He now has a state championship in 4 different weight classes, the first ever to do that at St. Mary's. Incredible accomplishment for him for the top play of the week. So lots of excitement for a Sunday afternoon in Bismarck and North Dakota in general.
I feel like all of those plays could have been your top play any other week.
That's right.
Thanks, Luke. Stay tuned. There's more.